In part 1, we installed Waydroid and successfully opened a complete Android system inside Linux Mint. Today, we're turning that basic installation into something genuinely useful. I'll show you how to fix the Play Protect certification warning, sign in to Google, install apps from the Play Store, sideload APK files, open Android apps in their own Linux windows, and share files between Mint and Android. This continues directly from the installation completed in part 1, so Waydroid should already be installed using the GApps image. If you haven't installed Waydroid yet, pause this, go watch that guide linked below and come back. Let's get straight into it. If you've restarted your computer since part 1, Android won't be visible when Linux Mint loads. So open Terminal with Ctrl, Alt and T. Type Waydroid show-full-UI and press Enter. We don't need sudo here because we aren't changing system files, we're just launching an app. When mine opened, the Android Quick Settings panel was covering the entire screen. If your screen looks like this, nothing has gone wrong, just click the white circle at the bottom, which is Android's home button, to return to the normal home screen. Your home screen might not look exactly like it did at the end of part 1. During my initial setup, the home screen displayed a Google search bar and a Play Store shortcut. After reopening Waydroid later, Android displayed a much cleaner home screen with only a small row of apps along the bottom. Your home screen might look a bit bare. To find the complete list of installed applications, click near the center bottom of the screen and drag upwards, just like swiping up on a tablet. Here in the App drawer, look for the Google Play Store and open it. If you see a warning displaying your device isn't Play Protect certified, don't panic. Your installation hasn't failed. Because Waydroid uses a custom Android system, Google doesn't automatically recognize it. We just need to register our unique Waydroid ID with Google. First, press Alt and F4 to close the visible Waydroid window. Leave the original terminal running in the background and open a second terminal. Now we need to run a very long command to pull our Android ID. Now I highly recommend copying this directly from the video description and pasting it into terminal using Ctrl, Shift and V. Press Enter, type your Linux password and terminal will spit out a long number. This is your Google Services Framework ID. Open your Linux web browser and go to google.com/android/uncertified. Sign in to the Google account you plan to use inside Waydroid. Switch back to your terminal. Highlight that long Android ID and copy it using Ctrl, Shift and C. Then jump back over to your web browser, paste the number into the empty box, tick the CAPTCHA and hit register. Google will show a brief grey device registered message to confirm it worked. Wait a few minutes to give Google time to process the registration. Then back in your second terminal, type Waydroid session stop and press Enter. This shuts down the current Android session. Now reopen Waydroid by typing Waydroid show-full-UI. Press Enter and return to the Play Store. When I opened the Play Store again, the warning was still there. Now, if this happens to you, we just need to clear Android's cache to force it to check the new registration. Open Android settings, select Apps, followed by See All Apps. Find Google Play Store and open it. Select Storage and Cache, then clear storage. Confirm when asked. Return to the complete app list and open Google Play Services. Select Storage and Cache. Then select Manage Space, followed by Clear All Data. Confirm the warning. Now close Android with Alt and F4. Return to terminal and type Waydroid session stop, press enter. Then restart Waydroid's container with sudo Waydroid container restart. Enter your Linux password if asked. Wait around 10 seconds, then launch Waydroid again. Waydroid show full UI. And then the Play Store sign-in screen will finally appear. Click Sign In. Now I actually hit a weird bug here where Waydroid wouldn't recognise the Shift key on my physical keyboard, which made typing the @ symbol in my email address impossible. If this happens to you, the simplest workaround is to click the text box and use Android's on-screen keyboard for your symbols and capital letters. When it asks about backing up to Google Drive, I usually turn this toggle off for a clean test installation, but you can leave it enabled if you prefer. Accept the terms and the Play Store is officially ready. To test the Play Store, I downloaded VLC for Android. It installed and opened perfectly. But what if you want to install an app that isn't on the Play Store? Well, just like using an Android emulator on Windows, you can easily sideload apps directly into Waydroid on Linux. If you're new to the term, sideloading simply means installing an app from an APK file rather than from downloading it from the Play Store. To show you how this works, I'm going to use my Downloads page to install Drama Player. Open Firefox in Linux Mint and download the Drama Player APK. When the download finishes, Firefox should display a notification in the top corner. Click the folder icon beside the completed download. This opens Linux Mint's Downloads folder. Keep your Downloads folder open so you can easily see the file name. Open a new terminal with Ctrl, Alt and T and type this command. Just make sure to replace the very end of the command, everything after the downloads / with the exact file name and extension of the APK you downloaded. Remember, Linux is case sensitive, so copy the file name exactly. Press enter. It won't give you a success message, but if you check your Android app drawer, your app will be sitting right there. It opened perfectly for me, even though it forced a portrait layout on my landscape screen. So far, we've been using Waydroid like a giant tablet, taking up the screen. But we can actually force Android apps to open in their own floating windows, just like native Linux programs. Leave the Waydroid session running and open a new terminal. Type this command and press enter. Stop the session with Waydroid session stop. Press enter, then relaunch it with Waydroid show-full-UI. Now when you open an app from the drawer, it launches in its own separate resizable window on your Linux desktop. You can drag it around and position it wherever you like. Next, I want to share a Linux Mint folder with Android. For this test, I placed a video called rabbits.m2ts inside Linux Mint's video folder. We can do this by first creating a matching movies folder inside of Waydroid. Open Terminal and type this command, then press Enter. The word sudo gives this command administrator permission. mkdir means make directory or create a folder. The -p tells Linux to create any missing folders in the path and not complain if the movies folder already exists. Enter your Linux password if asked. When the command succeeds, Terminal will probably return the normal prompt without saying anything. Next, we link your Linux videos folder to that new Android folder using this command. Now when I open VLC inside Android and browse the movies folder, my Linux video file is right there. Now the playbacks was a little choppy on my older mini PC, but that was a hardware limitation, not a Waydroid issue. The file sharing worked flawlessly. Note that this specific folder link is temporary. You'll need to run that final bind mount command again if you reboot your computer. And now we come to the best part. Because we enabled multi-window mode, you don't even need to open the full Android interface anymore. Installed Android apps automatically appear inside your standard Linux Mint start menu, allowing them to be launched like Linux applications. Just search for the app, click it, and Waydroid boots it up in the background and hands you the window. This is probably the most convenient way to use Waydroid day to day. Waydroid is now far more than just an emulator screen sitting on your desktop. It is a fully integrated Android environment. Let me know down in the comments how far you got and what you want to see me test on this mini PC series next, whether that's Android gaming, controllers, or streaming apps. I'll link part 1 below for anyone who still needs to install Waydroid from the beginning. I hope you found this easy to follow. If you did, make sure to smash that thumbs up button and subscribe for the next part. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.